It is Tuesday night now. This is part 3 of my ramblings about everything the past year, and what are some of my dreams for the future, both short-term and long-term. Yeah, this is part 3, and oh yeah, here's the photo. Yeah, it's a photo behind me. Yeah, this is a print I have of a photo. It's a relatively famous photo. It's a lighthouse. It's being engulfed by a wave, and it's a photograph taken from a helicopter, and I believe the helicopter was there to rescue the dude who is standing in the doorway. And it's like, okay, did he just come out the door, or is he about ready to go in the door? Did he live? Yeah, he did live. And let's see, here's the information on it. So yeah, that's what that is. There's a hole in the wall behind there. That's why I have placed that that picture here. I've had this for, oh wow, not long after college I got it, so probably 25 years I've had this almost. But yeah, it's covering up a hole in the wall. Alright, here's part 3. I didn't meet a lot of my goals. One of my goals was I didn't want to spend the winter inside this mobile home again. And, it was a long shot. I didn't have any money or any, plan to get money to prevent that from happening. It was just, I'd hoped to do that. And I might have been able to come across a cheap trailer, travel trailer, not mobile home. But I'd rather spend whatever resources I have on a tiny cabin, tiny house. So yeah, that's for the upcoming year. That's what are some of my goals for the upcoming year. Yeah, let's make this one even more long and more boring. Yeah, I would like a tiny cabin. I'm thinking about this 12 by 20, 12 by 24, 10 by 20 might be about the smallest I go. And, the pre-manufactured ones, maybe I can find one used that's cheap enough for me to try that. I don't know. There are other options out there that I'm just thinking about for this coming year. I would like to, I'll spend the winter here again, and that's cool. I made it just fine last winter. And then, come up with ways for that tiny cabin. I tell you, if you guys keep supporting me like you have been, and this incredible surge I've gotten, then that, my living situation will hopefully definitely improve for the next year. So that's one of my plans in the upcoming years, a tiny cabin, a small one, and go along with that, some type of septic would be good. There are no building codes here, so I don't have to worry about meeting specifications as far as the septic system goes. Just need something that functions. And my thinking is just the septic will be for the toilet, and that's it. Any type of the shower, the sinks, clothes washing machine, dishwasher, whatever I happen to have, that will be a gray water system. And so I will be thinking about that. And well, there's a flood outside. I probably showed you that earlier. And so yeah, I've got long-term permaculture. That probably won't happen this year. But a pond with swales and, fruit trees and berries and all that stuff. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. It may never happen, but that would be one of the long-term dreams anyway. And have the septic, have the gray water system helping to water my food forest. Long-term, I don't want to be growing, annual flowers every year. Pardon me, Nat. I'd like to, years down the road, rely on a food forest for a little bit of income, selling, fruits and berries and what have you. But back to this coming year. Let's see, I want to expand my gardens. Definitely want to, and I can now, thanks to that land that was cleared with my neighbor's bulldozer. In my current garden area where I planted a bunch of flowers, there are a lot of perennial irises, daffodils, those spider lilies. There's gladiolas out there. So I would like to move those out of my current garden area that's closest to my house and move those out to that land that was cleared, because that's further away from the house. You know, you talk about zone 1 and zone 2 as far as that goes. And that way the garden, my current garden, I will do more food out there next year. That will hopefully help me expand my offerings at a farmer's market. And now I know the laws and the rules on that, and you know, maybe business liability insurance is a requirement. That's not a law, but a lot of, anyway, I might be able to get that figured out for next year. But so yeah, I'd like to do a lot more food next year now that I'm learning this property and have more land cleared. And then a lot of the flowers and stuff that don't take as much attention, I will hopefully put out there in that land that was cleared before. Also, I'll be rotating my chickens around. That's something in the coming year, is I'll start selling chickens, I hope. That's not well, with the olive acres I'm trying to create, that's a year. You're from the day that my chicks hatched, you know, 6 months later they'll start laying eggs, and that's the first generation olive acres. And so once they start laying eggs, then I can hatch those eggs, which will be second generation olive acres. But they won't start laying eggs for another 6 months. So you've got a full year before you before you get your goal of having olive acres. So hopefully late next summer, early fall, I will have second generation olive acres. And now I would also like to be able to offer the Welsomer hens. And if people want roosters too, maybe I can sell some straight run chicks. I don't know. But the Welsomers, I would like to be able to offer those. And yeah, I've got them now. I just have to separate them so that I know I want this rooster to breed with these hens. That's another reason why I need a coop here very quickly, so I can separate the Welsomers into a breeding flock, and then I'll be able to offer Welsomers for sale. Another thing, I would like to offer the Whiting True Blues. They're a breed that lays the blue eggs. I don't have a rooster. So, and those are hard to find. There's really only one place where you can get them. That's Murray McMurray Hatchery is the only place that offers the Whiting True Blues. I guess they are, the Dr. Tom Whiting is who developed that breed, and he is in Colorado now. And I guess you can get them locally. He provides them to some local places to sell, but that's the only other place is Colorado. So I would like to expand my Whiting True Blues and also offer blue egg layers. So I'll be hopefully this year selling hens that lay blue eggs, hens that lay olive green eggs, and hens that lay dark brown terracotta eggs, the Welsomers. So that'll be cool, is expanding my chicken enterprise. And as far as expanding that outside of the local state, there's what's called NPIP, National Poultry Inspection something, I don't know. But they come out, they inspect your chickens, they inspect your property, and that way, that's the only way you can sell chickens over state lines. So that'll be something I look into. And but until I get certification like that, I can't be selling hatching eggs or stuff like that outside of Facebook for the most part. And yeah, that's why there are a bunch of Facebook groups for people in Arkansas that have chickens and want chickens and are selling chickens, and I'm finding those and I'm joining them. That's how I found my Welsomer flock, was off of a Facebook group. Craigslist isn't a good option for me. The closest listings for Craigslist is Little Rock and Fort Smith. Well, Little Rock is, 2.5 hours away. Fort Smith is, an hour and 20 minutes. And then Fort Smith handles a big area, including parts of Oklahoma. So, I'm 2.5 hours away from a lot of the listings on Craigslist. So there's still potential on Craigslist, but it's not very as handy for me because I live out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm completely off topic and making this even more boring. So those are some of my plans. I'd like a cabin. I'd like to expand my gardens. I'd like to expand my chickens. I really want to get a booth at a farmer's market and have that available. Starting seeds indoors this winter and having plant starts for when the farmer's market in the spring. That's one of my ideas. I'm not guaranteeing any of this will happen. You never know what pops up between here and there, and as far as opportunities go. But I'd like to get more land cleared. I'd like to get more trash out of here. I've got more than I can handle right now, I think. Oh, man. And, also I'm dreaming of ducks. If I have a pond and a stream back there, yeah. Turkeys, pigs. I was almost, oh, man. Pigs, yeah, pigs. Although now, if I got neighbors coming by with wild boars, wild hogs in the back of his truck all the time, I don't need to raise pigs for myself. And that's another thing, is there aren't a lot of opportunities for selling things like that, because I would, there are auctions. My neighbor takes his cows to the local auctions, and the prices you get, I want to raise my pigs. And as Joel Salatin would say, if I raise pigs, I want them to be able to enjoy their pigness. Forest raised pigs. I would not want to do it the commercial way. And so if I were to raise pigs in the manner that I think is proper for myself to raise them, I'm not casting any aspersions, but what I would feel comfortable with raising them and selling them at the auction, I'd basically be giving them away. I would not be making any money, because the whole point of those auctions is to, they're trying to buy it as cheap as possible, and so you're not getting a lot of money for your pigs, and so that means you have to, if you're going to raise pigs to try to make money at an auction, you have to raise them as cheap as possible. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about raising them as natural as possible, letting them have as natural of a life as they would have if they were, wild or something like that. So yeah, but pigs might be my future. Maybe a dog, not just any dog. I've never had a dog. So I'm kind of leery of having a dog, and a lot of YouTube homesteaders out there have lost chicken flocks to their own dogs and their neighborhood dogs, and so I would want a dog that would fit in well here at the property, and I wouldn't have to worry about him chasing the cats all the time and killing the chickens, and it would need to be a livestock guardian dog. So I'm in no hurry to get a dog. It would probably chase that groundhog away, I've seen raccoons and possums and stuff like that. So a livestock guardian dog, and I've only got just less than 3 acres. So like at Great Pyrenees, they need more land than that for them to be happy. So. That's, you never know. And there's a lot of other opportunities around here. Maybe I'll talk my cool neighbor with the cows into renting me some land, and I'll do some grass-fed Katahdin sheep at some point. You just never know. So I keep my options open. I don't like setting plans down in stone because it changes, and so those are kind of my ideas as far as the future is, yeah, tiny cabin, some type of septic. I've been researching, different methods of doing that for relatively cheap. And then way in the future, vacation property, offering a campsite for people to come. Having the septic will that'll make that more possible, and getting rid of all the trash. Yeah, come stay at my place for a weekend, and there's a million aluminum cans around you. But way in the distant future, it'd be nice to offer a campsite for rental, another cabin, a yurt, an Airstream, Cog Hill Family Farm. They just got an Airstream because it's the vintage feel, and there are opportunities for vacationers in this immediate area. Magazine Mountain is within sight. Blue Mountain Lake is 2 miles away at the end of a dirt road. So there's boating and fishing. There's hunting. Is really, I see hunters. It's just now starting. Every day going up and down the gravel roads out here in their four-wheelers. So that's Magazine Mountain. I also hear that hang gliders. Magazine Mountain is a hot spot for people that do hang gliding. There's Blue Mountain Lake. There's a campground there, but there's also, I guess they have a world-class training facility for bird dogs. I found that interesting. There's a bluegrass festival twice a year, a huge bluegrass festival. That's, I don't know, a little over half an hour away. And so I think there's vacation properties, vacation opportunities for people out here. Maybe I can't do 3 different rental places, but you start off with one, and if it does well, then you offer more. And that'd be renting out 2 weekends a month at $100 a night, or probably wouldn't be able to get that much depending on how nice it is. But that could be $200-300 a month during. Except in the middle of the winter, unless it's still hunting season. Then I don't know, but that's a dream in the distant future, is having more than one place. And then I'd also, if I have those cabins or yurts or whatever, then I've got place for people to come down and stay for a week. And so if, all you people that have been helping me out, maybe I can return the favor someday. You can come down and spend a weekend here at Bobblehead Homestead and have a little vacation. I don't know. I enjoy dreaming. I enjoy brainstorming the possibilities. So a lot can happen here. And all right, I'll just end it with that. All right, take her easy. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope in the upcoming year I'm still making progress and getting stuff done and bringing you along for the ride. I don't try to do anything flashy. I'm just trying to be myself and having fun, and I'll try to stick to it for the next year, and we'll see how far I get. I think if you're into what I'm into, it should be pretty fun. The chickens and the gardens and the cats and who knows what else. Later.